I should update my related user records. So for that, I'll be going and implementing a new trigger. I mean, new Apex class, contact user sync. This is my class, and I'll be on which method we need to write because we are updating. So it's always say after update. On successful save of contact, then only we need to update our contact, user records, related user record. As I mentioned, whenever you are writing after update trigger, it's a good thing that you take both old and new value in the form of maps. So now, whenever it is getting updated, we need to track whether the first name, last name, and everything got changed. So first, to hold the data, I'm just creating an ID. Contact ID is equal to new set of. Now we need to iterate. So this time I'll iterate using keys. So in the sense, what is the key here? The key is ID. So to get keys, you need to use a method called keyset. As soon as if you mention keyset, the iteration will start in accordance with the key value in the map. Now it is the data type of the key is ID. So now contact, how to get new data, new map dot get of key, because key is nothing but your ID, so it will retrieve your contact ID. Old map dot get of key. So now we need to check whether the data is getting updated or not. Whether the data is getting updated or not. Not equal to old data dot first name. What if it is not equal to? Then we need to. It means that the record got modified. So I can say contact IDs dot add. Contact IDs dot add. What I need to add here? Key is your contact ID. The same way it goes for the other record. Instead of first name, we need to use last name. Phone. And then email. So what it means, whenever the record is getting updated, whenever record is modified, either first name, last name, or phone, then I need to track what contact IDs I need to check about. Now I can say if I'm checking my size, contact IDs is not contact IDs dot size not equal to 0. In the sense greater than 0, it always, when it is greater than 0, it means that I have a modified contacts, so I need to think about my users. So I'll say list of user users equal to select ID comma first name comma whatever fields you are gonna use, you need to query all these fields, otherwise you will get SQL error saying that no field retrieved. Field is utilized without field is referred without querying without querying. So you'll get that error. So to avoid such errors, we need to query all the fields whatever we are going to refer. Here not ID, here the relation is contact ID. Contact ID in contact IDs. So we got our contact IDs, right? So then what we need to do, we need to iterate our user records, not on contact records. We need to iterate our user records for user US, let's say record colon users. So how to get a contact information? It's very easy. Contact data equal to new map dot get off. So from a user record you have what ID? You have contact ID. So we need to refer even contact ID. Why we need contact ID? Because contact ID is the key to get a value from a map. So I can say record dot contact ID. What happened? I got my contact record. Then what I can do? Record dot first name. Data dot first name. Record dot last name equal to data dot last name. Record dot email equal to data dot email. So once I got my data back, then I need to check my list of users again. I'll check before doing any DML operations. I always ensure that my DML operation data is not blank. So again, I'm checking if any of these values, if contact ID is blank, so you will be saving the entire execution and you are saving one SOQL query too. That makes a lot of sense. Update users. Because this is an after update, I need to call this from which method? I need to call from after update trigger.isAfter. Here you go. Dot, because our method name is also same as after update, so we'll be using this. Because Sunil is a partner user, so we'll check with Sunil only. Sunil partner user, where is this? Yes, here we go. Now what I'll do, instead of Sunil, now you can see Sunil and email is lakshmideepak@gmail.com. So I'll be changing a few things in this. New contacts in and phone I'll give like 9876543211. This is mobile 98763222. Okay. And for email I'll changing to xyz at qee dot. Yeah, I'm changing some random email and I'm saving it. Now you can see the data is updated in contact successfully. Now we'll see whether the user is updated or not. You can see email is changed and you can see new contact sync and phone number is 222. So it means that it got updated. Now there is let's add a little more complication to this. Okay, now we have a description, right? So what I'll do, as soon as if I'm updating my contact first name, last name and email, I need to update my description also. I need to update my description also. How can I do that? So I need to keep a track of my old history. So what I'll do, update contact description. So one thing you should know, I mean, we know that we are not supposed to perform any DML operations on trigger.new, trigger.new map, trigger.old and trigger.old map. Whatever data you are getting is just for reference. You are not supposed to perform any DML operation that to at after update or anything. So to do that any data modification using that unique codes, unique IDs of the record, you need to query back from a database. So what I'll do, I'll query my data back. Contact, contacts equal to select ID from last name, more phone from contact, where ID in, because we already had a modified contact ID, so I'm capturing those IDs only. I'm not using any different here. So once I got my data, what I'll do, I'll iterate. Here we need to have another field called description. That is what we need to update now. For contact record colon contacts. So we need to get our old contact old data equal to old map dot get off. So because we had a contact ID here in record dot id within the for loop, because this is a attribute which is storing the current iterating contact record. So what I will be doing, I'll be using this record dot id which will get a world map contact, a related contact from the world map. So after this, if data is modified, then we need to verify if the data is modified or not. Like I'll create my string new val equal to single quote. And the same thing, instead of new data, I'll say simple update new data. Instead of binding, so what I will be doing, I'll bind plus equal to new data dot old data dot first name. So I'm just binding in data. We don't need else if, because we need to execute all these things on every condition before. And instead of first name, it should be last name. What error is this? Okay. We have one more error. Okay, it's semicolon. Control shift tab. Control shift tab. Yes. So once we get data, I'm trying to update my contact. If contacts dot size greater than 0, update contacts. Now what I'm doing, you understood, right? So I need to add something called, here we need to add description equal to new val. If I change anything in my contact, if I change a name, then I should get name. If I change everything, it should come whatever change. So I'm saying like new name. If I'm trying to save, now you will find something interesting. It got updated. New, you got a old one and the new one is new name. That's what we mentioned. What if I do this DML operation after this user record? After performing the users, I'm doing my DML operations. Edit. One, two, three. Say you got updated. Oh my god. Oh. Any doubt on this? Any doubt? Okay. We'll change a simple thing. Instead of after update, let me put the same code within the before insert, before update. So what I'll do, I'll use the same code before update and I'll insert within the before update. What happens? Whether this code will execute for both after and before, that we need to ensure. Is after, sorry, is before and trigger dot is update. So might be method name is different, but I'm trying to go before it was written for after update. Now we are trying to check whether the same logic will work even for before. So I just placed inside the before trigger. You can see the event I added before update, and here I'm checking within the before update block. Let's say new name to old update. Say what happened here? What happened here? What kind of error is this? This is error. This error you are getting just because of one statement of this update. Because the reason behind what it is trying to say, you cannot perform another DML operation if the trigger is executed of the same records what trigger.new contains. So if you are performing DML operations on the same record, either directly or indirectly within the before updates or before triggers, system will not allow you to do. Clear? So this is the only statement because we are trying to update the same records whatever we are getting with the same IDs. So that is why we are getting this error. So if I comment this particular line, then I'm not doing any DML operation, then I don't have any issue with the same. Now we can see update is currently triggered, therefore it cannot be recursively update itself. Why? Oh, before update triggers class user sync update line number 56 column 1 line number 50. Okay, it should be this. I made a wrong statement. What happened now? Okay. So yesterday you remembered, as soon as you update a trigger, as soon as you update a user, it will update your contacts, isn't it? Right? It will update your contacts, right? Yesterday we had a trigger. Yesterday we had like a trigger in the user object saying that user trigger. We had a trigger to update, right? Again contact. This is causing recursive now. This is causing recursive. So whenever the user is firing, it is firing contact. If contact is getting updated, it's firing user. So how we handle that? Yesterday we used a condition called check recursive handler, isn't it? The same thing you will be using here. If it is recursive, then you don't want to perform. This is what we written. So we're using the same method, whether it will save our time or not. Now it got saved, right? There is an importance in understanding this recursive. Whenever you are facing such recursive, see, there is no such case that I'll write a code, it will not recursive. But based on the business rules or based on too many updates, you will come into a conclusion saying that you will end up in sequencing your, looping your triggers so that it will fire again and again. To avoid such confusions to a triggers or execution, you can have a recursive check at first line of a trigger, so that as soon as if it knows this is not true, then it will not worry to execute entire logic. See, it's a fine that you can keep unconditional here, but what happens unconditional? It will check here and it will execute this piece of code. It have to execute entire code. If it is in the first block, as soon as if it comes, it records, it just returns. I mean, it just come out from this execution loop.